Hi everybody, just a bit of a heads up. Some of this recording has strong wind noises in the background. Unavoidable, but you still get the enjoyment of the weekly forecasts. Enjoy. Hello and welcome. My name is Vicki Haspels. I'm the Conscious Mystic and this is the weekly forecast. This is for week commencing June 13th, 2022. I'm coming to you from lovely Yanchep National Park in WA, and this is our campground tonight. It is home of natural caves, underground caves. There are koalas here, kangaroos here, so it's really a lovely nature reserve. Lots of beautiful bushlands and walks to go around. And for more adventurous people, if you want to go underground caving, it's like getting into those little tiny holes. Not me, that's not me. But anyway, that's what's available here. So we're going to do the weekly forecast, my weekly guidance around what to expect for the week ahead using the Mythic Tarot. I'm going to read the energy based on the cards, what the cards are revealing, and give you my insights and my guidance about what I interpret them to be. So let's begin. Now, as usual, I'm shuffling my cards. I'm going to choose 6 and have a chat with you while I'm choosing them. If the audio is a bit funky on this, it's because it's really windy. And I wanted to give you a nice outlook for the weekly forecast, so I'm outside in the wind and fingers crossed it doesn't rain. It's a beautiful, it is actually lovely weather, just a little bit chilly because it's winter time of course, and but the sun's out, which is very, very nice. Okay, so we are, let me just check my 1, 2, this is the exciting part, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, good. I got 6. Alright, so I don't know if you saw my Facebook post the other day, but this is my old deck, and I've had it for more than 25 years, I guess, nearly 26 years now, so they're my favourites. So they're I'm surprised I haven't lost any yet, but touch wood, I don't do it today. Alright, so in the wind, so okay, let's get into the energy flow. Nice and chilled, nice and centered, and okay, let's begin. So this is for the Monday, as I said, Monday the 13th of July 2022. We have the first card, which is us. This is our conscious selves. This is what we are aware of. This is the energy that we'll know. We might not always like it, but this is what we'll know. We have the King of Wands as our first card, the conscious self. So the King of Wands represents that part of us that is like, let's go. So the ideas are going to come in short bursts this week. They're going to come hard and fast. They will be required if you want to catch on to them really quickly. They're not going to hang around for too long. So that inspiration is going to be coming to you in short bursts. However, the inspiration will be strong. For those of you who are looking for something new to do, or are trying to get motivation to start something, this week will be really good because the King of Wands is working with us to make that happen. Just as I said, the energy is not going to be around for too long, and so grab it while you can. However, do not be concerned if you feel like you've missed out or can't you make use of that energy. Everything is always in its own time, so if it's not this time, it'll come next time. But the King of Wands will be there to inspire and move you closer to those goals and your ultimate passion, or what you'd like to do. But one's always about passion and inspiration, and the King is like the king of the top of the pile. So yeah, they're going to come in hard and strong. The next card I'm going to show you is the energy of our soul, of our guides, of the universe, and how that is playing out to influence, but also I'm saying influence because I just saw the card. They work with us. Our guidance, our soul, the spirit world works with us to help us realize that the energy of the King of Wands. So it's going to help us move through it, let it go if we don't need it, hang on to it if we do, if it's time for us to do that. Not all ideas are great, however, they're going to pop up for us to decide how we want to move forward. So we have the Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, I should say. The Queen of Cups energy is about influence. Your the ideas that flow from the King will be there will be some sort of influence around it. It's not going to just be thrown at you and you're going to be, oh my God, what do I do? There'll be some sort of story woven around it. There'll be some sort of energy woven around it to speak to a part of you. So you're not going to be manipulated by the spirit world, but you're going to be influenced to actually help you see what's works for you and what doesn't. I think that's why that information came in about that not all ideas are fabulous, because the Queen of Cups will be the one that works with us. But you might get 10 ideas, and 2 may be ones that you can run with. So the Queen of Cups is going to help you, or help us, see that. She will influence us about the way to go by showing us, what's at stake, what's worth it for us, what's in our hearts, and how emotionally we are attached to those things. So it'll separate the fantasy from the fact of what's going to work for us. Okay, so the next card we're looking at is challenges or fears. I like to call this the fears or challenges section, because this is really what we're challenged to learn within ourselves. So oftentimes the things that we find a bit confronting, disturbing or uncomfortable are the things that we are strengthening in ourselves, and we must face them in order to be able to move forward, or to be ourselves, or live our best lives. And so these fears or challenges will pop up because these are the things that we are learning about ourselves that we can strengthen. And they must be faced in order so that they don't influence and push us down all the time or distract us. So that we have the Sun card here. I like the Sun card generally, this is your goal, this is where you want to head. So the challenge, I believe, looking at the feeling from the Sun card, it's not so much that it's going to be great news or wonderful, which is what the Sun usually represents. The Sun represents letting go of those things that we think we should be doing. That's I've got it in my mind, I've got to be doing this, and the King of Wands turns up and says, hey, what about this over here? And the Queen of Cups is going, oh, you should actually try that. And that part of you that says, no, I've got to do this. That's what the Sun represents. It's going to break through that conditioning that we've given ourselves to say, it's got to be like this, it's got to look like this. So it will break through that, and we will work with the Sun energy to actually shine a light on what is best for us, rather than using the old conditioning or those limits or that sort of blinkered sight or thinking. So that's how the Sun's going to help us this week. The next card we're looking at is our response to the situation. We're going to look at the Tower. Now the Tower is not always the most fun card of the deck. However, it does represent the cleanup crew. So our response, if you want to work with the Tower this week, is to take a step back and let the Sun do its work, that Sun energy do its work, that the things that are not going to work for you, let them wash away, let them crumble. You do not have to keep trying to prop anything up anymore. So the Tower comes in as the cleanup crew. So there will be some dashed dreams, there will be some dashed hopes. However, if you feel disappointed or let down, or thinking, oh, I have to give up on that, I feel like I need to give up on that, and that's sad. That's the Tower working to show you the things that are not viable, are not functioning. And so it's necessary to understand that you want to put your energy into something that's going to work for you, work with you, rather than propping something up that is continually sapping your energy and making you weak. And when I say you, that's also about me. It's about all of us. Okay, so what will that was our response. So our response is that we can get involved if you want to. The Tower, you can get involved and try and clean up the mess all the time, but the Tower's going to wash everything away. So by accepting the things that aren't going to work, by accepting that your limited thinking is causing you to be uncomfortable, and it's like, okay, well, that's not the way it's going to be. That will allow the tower to do its work, or you can get involved and still be a little bit sort of disappointed, but you know, it's horses for courses. So the next card we're looking at is the possible future. What are we heading into with all of this stuff going on? Interesting, we have the Nine of Swords. So our future is heading into uncertainty. So remember I talked to you that the Nine of Swords is always, for me, that part of our mind that dives into anxiety, and rather than like look at the reality of what's going on, continually builds a story so that we can stay in our safe little cocoon rather than breaking out and moving forward. It's a safety mechanism, it's a survival mechanism, that we build those stories so that we feel safe. All those little stories are going to be challenged this week. So we're heading into challenging those limitations that we put in ourselves. The narrative of this week's weekly forecast is about, hey, this is what you've always wanted to do, or hey, how about this idea? And the Queen's going to come in and say, that's a really good idea. And the rest of the week is going to be us breaking down our old thought patterns, our behaviours, our limited thinking, so that those fresh new ideas can come in. I'm also getting like a message that it's not about, you know, just completely letting go of everything that you wished and dreamed for. It's about modifying it. So the anxiety of the Nine of Swords is really that uncertainty about what's coming up. Again, you can put yourself out of the way, do some mindfulness exercises, you know, just so take yourself out of the situation to alleviate the stress of the Nine of Swords. However, that is a necessary part of the process in order to see the way forward, so that you can either start something brand new or modify something that you've always wanted to try, and all the energy is there ready for you to try it. So I can go either way. So it doesn't mean to say that's the message, is that it doesn't have to be completely wiped out. It just means that maybe sometimes it has to be modified, and that's, you know, that letting go of, you know, what's not going to work. I'm sorry about the wind. I'm going to go and stop in a minute. One more card to go. We have our spiritual selves, Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands is the spiritual journey. The spiritual journey is about looking at what we think we should be, or what we think is going to give us some sort of satisfaction or gratification, as opposed to what actually is in our heart. So that spiritually we are going to look, it's a bit of a cleansing, it's a bit of a clean out, it's a bit of a reality check or a checkpoint to clarify how we want to move forward. And if there's been ideas knocking on your consciousness, and you've sort of been putting them to one side, this is a week they're all going to come up, and so that we can all make a decision about how we want to move forward. Are we going to put them to one side because we know they're not going to work, or are we going to run with them, or we're going to modify them? But it's definitely about looking at that, seeing what actually works for us, modifying or changing our plans if need be, because the energy is all very short and sharp and ready to go. And then with the destruction of the Tower and the anxiety of the Nine of Swords, allowing that to wash away so that the clarity can come in, or the newness can come in. So expect a little bit of confusion around it, but be excited, because that means that those plans or those ambitions can be realised, can be recognised. But it's a little bit more work to do, but this is like the kickstart or the kick-off for those ideas or that way forward. Anyway, I'm going to leave that with you from lovely Yanchep National Park. It's going to rain in a minute, so I'm going to get out. I apologise if there's any wind in this recording. It is the way that it's going. As I said, this is a weekly forecast for week commencing June 13th, 2022. My name's Vicki Haspels. I'm the Conscious Mystic, and I hope to see you here next week. I'll be here for, book in for readings, for meditation, for healings, all the things. You can check out my website, vickyhaspels.com. Okay, much love from me. Mwah. Goodbye. See you guys next week with love from me. Mwah.